Hi kiddos, we're going to go over our classwork that was from our Thursday lesson about how we read and write numbers using our three forms. So for your classwork, you were asked to do the even numbers, and you were taught to look at the form that is provided, and then you're going to give the two missing forms. So first we have to identify the form that's been given. So when you look in your notebook to look at the different forms, we have been given the standard form. So I just write an S to remind myself what I have, so then I know what I need to still provide. So I know that I'm going to have to provide the expanded form and then also the word form. So we always want to identify with our letters to make sure we know what's missing. So looking at our standard form, we know that we have to look at the largest place value to then write that as their value in the place. So it's a 3 in the 100,000s. So I need to write 300,000 because we're pulling it apart like an accordion. So I have my addition sign to look at the next digit and the value where it is. So that's 1 in the 10,000s. So that's 10,000s. Put my plus sign because I need to remember it's not changing the value, it's just pulling it apart to look at the digits separately. The next digit is a 4 in the thousands, so I'm going to write plus 4,000. Moving to the next period, we have a 2 in the hundreds place, so I put plus 200. There is no value in the tens place, so I'm going to then jump over to the ones place, so I'm putting plus 7. Now I can then look at my word form, and I'm going to write 300, and then we put the 10,000 and the 4,000 together because they're holding hands. So that's 10,000 plus 4,000. That makes it a 14,000. So I'm going to write 14. We named the period by writing the word thousand. We then have the comma to show the break in the period. Now we're moving to the ones period. So then we look at the 200 and the 7. So we have to write the word 200. And then we write the ones place, which is a 7. Remember, we do not have the word and because and will show us that it is a decimal number, which changes the value drastically. So we do not have the word and when we write it in word form. If you have the word and, you need to give yourself half credit because we need to make sure that we really focus on not including that in our different forms. Moving down to the next section, we have use the number 913,256, and they're asking us to work with the number with two, or we have three different questions, but we're only going to focus on 2 of them. It says write the name, so I'm going to box that word, name of the period. So that tells me that I can look at my notebook back on our lesson from Monday that has the digits 913. So when I see the break with the comma, I know that I have the ones period to the right of the comma, and to the left of the comma is the thousands period. So when it says write the name, I know that they're asking for me to write the word thousands. When I look at number 6, it says to write the value. So we know that value means worth of the digit 9. So when I look at the digit 9 in the number provided, I have to think of what is the worth of the 9 in the place value it sits. So looking at your place value chart, you should be able to determine that the 9 is sitting in the 100,000s. So we rewrite the 9, but also give the value by making sure that we show the digits to the right now turned into zeros because the 9 was in the 100,000s. So the value of the 9 is 900,000. Moving to the last section on the front side, it's asking us to use the table for numbers 7 and 8. The table shows the population in 2008. The states are provided on the left of the table and their population is on the right. For question 8, it says, what is the value? So once again, we know that's a key word. That means worth. The value of the digit 8 in Alaska's population. So when I look at Alaska and the number of their population, I find the 8 and look at which place is the 8 sitting in. So looking at your place value chart, the 8 is sitting in the 10,000s, so we need to show that worth. So the 8 is important, and then to the right is showing the value So the value of the 8 is 80,000. Turn your paper over, and on the back, the first two are also focusing on today's lesson. So what is the value? We once again box the keyword of the digit 4 in the number 84,213. So we look at the 4, where it's located, look at your place value chart to know the place value. So the 4 is in the thousands place, so we should bring down the digit, and then everything to the right will turn into a 0 to show the worth or the value. Then we can compare with the multiple choice answers to then match it to the one that matches exactly. So we eliminate 4, 400, 4,000 is exactly the same, and 40,000 is not. So our choice is C, 4,000. Moving to the next two problems, we know this section for the spiral review will oftentimes be a preview of skills that we might be encountering in the future, or it might be something that we have been explicitly taught. Number 4 says Latricia's vacation is in 4 weeks. Anytime I see numbers, it shows me that this might be important, so I need to circle it just to indicate that that's something I want to keep my eye on. There are 7 days in a week, so I know 7 days in a week is going to be important. And then I'm underlining my question. So how many days is until Latricia's vacation? So if I know there's 4 weeks and there's 7 days in each of those weeks, I know that I'm going to set up my multiplication problem using this fact family. So if you know your songs, you should be able to quickly multiply 4 times 7. You should have been able to get to the product of 28. So then we would be able to find that that is D, 28 days. Moving to number 6, it says the city Tim lives in has 106,534 people. So once again, I'm circling important numbers, and then I'm underlining the question, what is the value of the 6 in the number for 106,534? So once again, I'm going to box keywords. So value means worth. And then I'm looking at that digit 6 in that number. So if you're looking at your place value chart, the 6 is in the thousands place, and we know that that is going to be the worth. So I bring down the 6, everything to the right then changes to the 0, and then I can compare to the choices. So 6,000 is going to be A, and then I just double check that I have found the correct one by eliminating the rest of the choices, and the correct answer for number 6 is A.